Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. Thank you for joining us today in our webinar on the discussion on how the silicones enhance the personal care experience. So before we proceed, some points to take note. As this webinar will be in 1 hour sessions, so we won't be able to have sufficient time to conduct the question and answer on the spot. So if you look at your screen, you have a question mark icon over there. That is where you can actually post your questions during the webinar. So should you have any questions or interest that you are very keen on, please feel free to drop inside the question box, and then we will get back to you after the webinar by the respective sales channels. Okay, so let us proceed further. Before we start, let me introduce myself. I am Edwin Koh, a Business Development Manager for Home and Personal Care for Asia Pac based in Singapore. And today with us, we have our two speakers, Cassie. She is our Technical Service Manager for Home and Personal Care for the APAC region, and she is based in Shanghai. And we also have Rosa. Rosa, she is based in Spain, our Technical Service Manager for Personal Care for the Europe region. So we are still having some attendees coming in. However, let us proceed further, and then they will join in along the way. So for today's agenda, what we are going to touch on basically will be a quick guide on the market trends of personal care despite the COVID situation right now. And after which, Cassie will be leading the first half of the presentation that we will be covering on the PURESIL and MIRASIL film former, followed on by the PURESIL fluorine silicones, and then follow on with the MIRASIL gum lens. After which, Rosa will be touching base on our new products of the MIRASIL low viscosity dimethicone, follow on with a emulsifier, and then we will closing off a conclusion. So let us take a look at the current situation right now in the market. 2020 has been not an easy year for every one of us due to this COVID-19 that actually started off in January. So during this period of time for the past 11 months, I believe there is a lot of changes that took place, and our lifestyle has actually changed along the way. So if you look at our presentation here, what has changes in our lifestyle? So basically, if you look everywhere around us, having a mask on our face in a lot of countries, it seems to be a mandatory or a requirement when we are out of our home, regardless whether you're going for shopping or grocery. So it has made a huge, massive change in our lifestyle, and also due to some of the countries that are facing lockdown, be it now or before, a lot of us will be working from home, where we'll be conducting Zoom calls, FaceTime with our bosses, with our colleagues, etc. And some of the companies, part of the colleagues will be back to the office to be on a standby. That's where they also require virtual calls with their mask on despite when they are in the office. And of course, for working parents at home, you will have to face stress from work as well as looking after your children when during the lockdown or during the COVID situation where kids are not allowed to go to the school. And of course, with this COVID that is happening right now, or some of the countries that are facing the post-COVID situation, a lot of products, or in terms of a lot of merchandise, have been going into online e-commerce, whereby physical shopping has been reduced and concentrated mostly on e-commerce online shopping platform. So in terms of the trend, what we are seeing right now in the market is that we are seeing a lot of new products that's coming up. I wouldn't say it's purely new. You would say more of more and more selections of the safe mask makeup in terms of the color cosmetics, foundations, and BB creams. Because of the requirement to put a mask, the market with the demand of requiring a cosmetic products that do not come off even with the mask on. So in the social platform, you also see a lot of influencer bloggers guiding on in the platform, teaching people how to put on color cosmetics, especially on the upper part of the face. Despite with the mask on, color cosmetic is still a requirement. So in this trend, we are seeing a very much of a driven demand over here in terms of the stain resistance or transfer resistance, where on the makeup, on the color cosmetics or skincare products, when you have when you're having a mask on. And of course, further to that, apart from having this new trend in the color cosmetics, what we are also seeing due to the prolong of the wearing mask when we are outside of our home or in the public, having a mask on will also cause some skin trouble. So that will also drive down to the requirement of the skincare products, where we see a demand risen in the e-commerce platform. And of course, another range of products that in demand we are seeing is the blue light skincare products. This is due to a lot of people who are working from home, and with the prolonged facing of blue light from screen time, especially in your laptop, your tablets, or your handphone. And previously, before the COVID, what we are seeing mostly focused on UVA, UVB, on the sun protection. But with the COVID, this is a new trend that we're seeing, which is the blue light skincare products, which you will see in the market as well. And like I further said, with the e-commerce that has driven the demand during the post-COVID-19 situation, I myself, I also have a typical experience whereby during my lockdown in Singapore, I've been receiving a lot of parcels almost daily, and those parcels doesn't belong to me, but mostly belong to my wife. So when I open up, you will see different brands of cosmetics. So during such kind of circumstances, that is where we see a lot of demands that's coming in terms of this. So before I proceed further, so what we're going to share with you today will be on the two brands that we are carrying, the PURESIL and the MIRASIL, and that is where you will get your answers for having benefits of long wear, transfer resistance with a good skin condition, as well as some of the benefits of fast and freshness filling into your skincare formulation. So what we will touch base on will be on a 5 particular range of products. The first one we will touch on will be the firm former with the special 3D structure. And that's where Cassie will start to lead the presentation in a while. And after which we will also share with you the range of fluorine silicones with the low surface tension and beading effect. And of course, followed on by with the low viscosity dimethicone for the fresh filling. Basically, also so to drive the direction of the replacement of the cyclics, because in the market we are seeing some of the trends whereby our customers are actually slowly changing from the cyclics to the low viscosity dimethicone. And on the fourth part, PURESIL will be touching on the MIRASIL gum blends with the range of gum blends for the excellent film forming, as well as our MIRASIL balance, which is one of our, I would say, a focused product on the as an emulsifier for fresh and long wearing cosmetics range of products. So without further ado, I will leave the presentation over to my colleague Cassie, where she will start. She will guide you along the way. Cassie, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Edwin. Hello, everyone. I'm Casey from Elcon Shanghai office. I'm the technical service of home and personal care in Asia Pacific. So today I'm very pleased to introduce our silicone solutions for makeup under epidemic condition, which customers focus more about healthy, long wear, and the fresh feeling as introduced by Edwin just now. So first, let's see our MIRASIL and PURESIL film former, which will deliver yours long wear and anti-transfer performance. So for the cosmetic engineers, I think you are already very familiar with the silicone oils, which are normally used in different kind of cosmetic formulations. But today we will bring you a new silicone product, which is silicone resin, and its chemical structure is slightly different from the silicone oils. It is 3D. So when we use these special chemical structure products into our cosmetics, it will also deliver special performance to our final formulations, such as the long-lasting performance based on its good water balance, good oil balance, and its anti-transfer for the final cosmetics. And for our pure steel silicone resin product, we have the pure silicone resin powder. And of course, we have the silicone resin blends, which contains the silicone resin powder and also the carriers. They made you easy to add into your formulation because of the liquid appearance. So for silicone resins, they could be used in different kind of color cosmetics, such as the lip care, such as the eye beauty, and the cosmetic base. And their main function is the film former. So let's see them one by one. So in this slide, you will see two of us pure steel film former liquid. And for these two products, they all contain the silicone resin, but we use different carriers in the formulation, so its performance is slightly different. So here you could see for PURESIL TMS DM30, its carrier is non-volatile dimethicone. So it is non-volatile, and when we introduce into our final cosmetics, it is very moisture, and also it is suitable for different kind of cosmetics and different kind of package. And for the TMS IDD50, you will see the carrier is volatile isododecane. So it will make your formulation very fresh. And for both products, you will see the viscosity is very low. That means you could easily to introduce them into your formulation. Besides, you will also find the D4, D5, and D6 content in both products is very low. So they are all regulation compliance. And for both products, you could introduce them in your formulation as the film former, and they provide quite good film forming performance by providing excellent oil repellent, excellent water repellent. So to provide the long wear to your formulation and also good transfer resistance. So here you will find the long-lasting performance of IDD50. And in this test, we introduce IDD50 and also the dimethicone in a lip color formulation. And then we spread the lipstick lip color on the substrate, and then we test its oil resistance by immersed them into the jojoba oils. So from the right photo, you could see after 24 hours, for the lip color with IDD 50, the color keeps quite good on the substrate. But for the one with Damascus, you will see because the final cosmetic cannot form film. So the pigment cannot fix on the substrate and it removes. And also you can see the anti-transfer performance of the IDD 50 in lip care. So here we also test for IDD 50 in the lip color, and you could see for the one with IDD 50, after use, its anti-transfer is quite good compared to the one with Damascus. So too easy to see the result, here we prepare a video so you can easily to see the performance. So the lip color contains the IDD 50. Here you could see it is very easy to spread. And after that, you can see, because for IDD 50, it contains isododecane, so it is very easy to dry. So 1 minute after application, you can see it is already dry and quite good anti-transfer performance. After that, we test its water rebalance. You could also find its performance is very good. So this is the formulation we tested just now. So you can see in the formulation, we use 47% IDD 50 as the film former, and it delivers the long-lasting and non-transfer performance for the final formulation. Then we see another product, TMS DM30. The same test for oil rebalance, but here we made it into a foundation formulation. So from the right photo, you could easily see the difference. So after immersed in the jojoba oil for 7 hours, the formulation with TMS DM30 keeps quite good, whereas the one with Damascus, the foundations cannot stick onto the substrate, or we see it transfer. And this is the test for the anti-transfer for the foundation. And here we're doing the test by test its peeling off performance by the tape. And as you know, the tape is very sticky. But after the test, you can see for the formulation with TMS DM30, there's almost no foundation stick by the tape. But for the comparison one, you could see a lot of foundation sticky on the tapes. So from this test, we see for a TMS DM30, it provides the final cosmetic quite good anti-transfer performance. And for the PURESIL TMS range, because we design its chemical structure well, and also we control its molecular weight, so this one also provides quite good sensory for the final makeup. So here you could see the sensory test. The pink one is the formulation with TMS DM30. So from the result, you could see after adding TMS in the foundations, it improves the coverage, the spreading of the foundation, and also it improves the final sensory, such as the slippery for the final makeup. So for some customers, they may prefer more for the pure product. So here we have the MIRASIL MSR 88 for you. So here you could see MSR 88 is silicone resin powder with around with the particle size around 15 micro. So this one is pure silicone resin, and its appearance is powder. So of course, it is also very easy to introduce into your formulation by diluted in the cosmetic raw materials in advance. So in this slide, you will see the compatibilities with different cosmetic raw materials. Here you will see it shows good compatibility with esters with different ratio, and also very good compatibilities with the silicones. Of course, you can also dilute it in the isododecane. So after diluted with these raw materials, you could easily introduce them into your final makeup formulation. And the same as the TMS silicone resin blends, MSR 88 also provide quite good sensory to the final cosmetics. And here you could also find the similar performance for the sensory. It provides quite good spreading coverage and also very good slippery performance. So to sum up, for the PURESIL TMS range and for the MIRASIL MSR 88, they are silicone resin with a unique 3D molecular weight structure, and they could be used in the final cosmetics as the film former. So after introduced in the formulation, they will provide excellent water balance, oil balance, thus to make your formulation long-lasting and good transfer. And of course, its skin feel is very good. So after the silicone resin, we see another special raw materials from PURESIL range. That is the fluorine silicones. So fluorine silicone is already used in the industrial application because of its good water balance, good oil balance, good anti-foam, and good heat resistance. But for cosmetics, really it is a very new and innovative raw materials. So what is fluorine silicone? So from this slide, you could see its chemical structure simply. Here you will find 3 parts. This one is the silicon main chain. So it provides the performance of silicones, such as good stability, good safety, and good sensory. Here you will also find the fluorine groups and the alkyl groups graphed onto the silicon main chain. That will also bring the performance of fluorine groups such as the oil balance, the water balance, the special skin feel, and good spreading. Of course, to improve the compatibility of the fluorine silicone, we also introduce the alkyl group in the final chemicals. So it will improve the compatibilities of the fluorine silicone with the cosmetic raw materials. And also it will bring the skin feel of the alkyl. And in this slide, you will see the fluorine silicones in our PURESIL range. So based on the chemical difference, you will see the perfluorine grade, and we have 2 products, SF30, which is the fluorine oils, and we also have the SF30W. This one is the fluorine wax, and under the normal temperature, it is solid. And we also have the trifluoride grade, and for this type, you will find TFL5 and TFL30. So for both products, From the inky, you will see there is no alkyl group in its chemical structure, but because of its low viscosity, so it also shows good compatibilities in the formulation if well designed. So just now we mentioned a lot about the water rebalance of fluorine products. So here you will, in this slide, you will see the final performance. Here we test the contact angle of the treated laser. So from the result, you could see for the laser after treated with the fluorine silicone, the contact angle improves from 0 to around 100. And also you could see the result from this photo. So from this result, we could see for the fluorine silicone, it improves the water rebalance of the substrate a lot. And the result is very obvious. And for today's topic, here we also choose the end transfer of the fluorine silicones if we introduce into the makeup formulation. So here we compare our fluorine silicone TFL30 with the silicone resin IDD50 and the dimethicone. And from the result, you could see after introduced into the liquid lipstick, the end transfer of TFL30 is quite good, and the performance is similar to the silicone resin. So to make an example, here you will find a very easy formulation, and we prepare it into a lip top coat. And this type of product is very popular for the makeup for the anti-transfer claims. And from this photo, you could see for the lipstick after use the lip top coat, the one with the lip top coat, you could see its anti-transfer is quite good for the lipstick. But for the one without the lip top coat, you could see some lipstick transfer. So beside its long-lasting and the anti-transfer performance, we see fluorine silicone is very special. So we can also see other performance of them. Here we test its skin hydration after introduce them into the cream. So from the result, you could see the skin moisture is quite good immediately after use the cream, and also the difference becomes much obvious after using several hours. And for 3-hour fluorine silicone, you could see the performance of TFL5 is the best. And also, we tested them into the creams to see its skin sensory. So in this test, we introduced around 0.5% PURESIL SF30 in the formulation. And from the result, you could see even very low dosage SF30 in the formulation. It will make the final creams provide better fresh feeling and also better slippery. During use, we will also find it will make the dry speed fast and easy to spreading. So this sensory performance just what we want for the makeup under the condition we wear mask. Because today's topic is makeup, so we also show the performance, the pigment dispersed performance of the fluorine silicone. So here we make an example of PURESIL SF30. And we tested the wet point and the flow point of the raw materials. So normally we see the lower of the flow point, we see better compatibilities, dispersed performance of the raw materials with the pigment. So from this result, you could see for both the titanium dioxide and the iron oxide, the pigment dispersed performance of SF30 is better than the normal pigment dispersant, such as the castor oil and the acetyl damascene. So based on this, we could see after introduce the fluorine silicone in the makeup, we will not worry about the pigment disperse performance. So to sum up for the fluorine silicone, it combines the silicon chain, it combines the fluorine group, and also it combines the alkyl group. So it exhibits some unique properties. So for makeup, we will see its performance for the oil rebalance, for its water rebalance, and which will make our makeup long lasting and transfer. And also, if we introduce into the makeup, it will also make our final cosmetics provide better skin hydration. It will make the better good pigment disperse. And of course, its skin feel is very good and very unique. So after the fluorine silica, we see our third type product, the gum blend. So for gum blend, I think you're already very familiar because this type product is very popular in the makeup for its good sensory and for good water rebalance. And for the gum blend, normally it contains the gum, the carriers. And based on the difference of the gum, we separate it to several types. For example, here you will see for MIRASIL range, we have Damascene gum grade, we have Damascene gum grade, and also we have special range, the diphenyl Damascene gum grade. And for this gum, we diluted with different carriers such as cyclopentasiloxane and such as low viscosity damascene. So based on this, we have different types of product. And today I'd like to focus more for the diphenyl damascene gum blend because this one is really unique in the marketing for makeup. So here, I'd like to show a video to you to show the unique performance of the diphenyl gum blend when we compare to the phenyl oils. So here, PTM is phenyltrimescane, and red is the diphenyl gum blend. So we will see the long lasting and the of both products. So it may be not so continuous. Oh, very sorry. Edwin, could you go to the last slide? Thank you. So very sorry. So we continue to see the video. Here we compare a bright with the phenyl oils just to show the long lasting of the raw material itself. So it seems it is not continuous. So here we'd like to emphasize is that for the diphenyl gum blends, because of its large molecular weight, so it can form film on the surface of the skin. Based on this, it will make a long-lasting performance if we compare to the phenyl oils. So let's see the performance. This is from this photo just to show the phenyl oils we introduce into the foundations. Here we compare with the MIRASIL Bright, the phenyl gum blend, and the phenyl oil PTM. And this photo shows the performance after applying 6 hours. So from the photo, you could see very easily the difference. The left one we introduced in the formulation with bright shows better whiteness, or we see it reflects the light much better. That's because it can form film on the surface of the skin, and after that, it keeps reflecting the light during wear. But for the phenyl oils, because it absorbed by the skin, so its gloss appearance, gloss performance disappears with the time. So this slide we could see the long-lasting shine of the phenyl gum blend. And here you will find another photo. And in this photo, we would like to see the long-lasting moisture of our phenyl gum blend, because for them they form film on the skin surface and can keep the water much better in the skin. And of course, today's topic is for the makeup. We could also see its performance in the makeup formulation. Here we introduce MIRASIL Bright into the BB creams, and here we compare it with the phenyl oils. So you can see for the creams with MIRASIL Bright, it can make the pigment disperse much better after using on the skin. So to sum up, for the gum blend, as it is already widely used in the cosmetics, but for the MIRASIL gum blend, because of the special of the gum, so it has some special performance. And if we introduce the gum blend into our final makeup, it could provide a very good long-lasting performance from the special chemical structure of the gum. And for the phenyl gum blend, we could also get extra performance such as the long-lasting shine, long-lasting moisture, long-lasting sensory, and so on. And beside for makeup, the water rebalance and the fresh non-stick skin feel of the gum blend is also quite good. So this is for the gum blend. It is just focus for the long lasting and for the fresh of today's topic. So that's all for me. I'd like to invite my colleague Lucy to introduce the following products. Lucy.
Thanks, Cassie. Hello, hello everyone. I am Roger Casas and I am Personal Care Technical Service Manager for EMEA region. Today, I am pleased to introduce you the low viscosity dimeticones and emulsifiers that I can propose to prepare water in silicone and water in silicone plus oil emulsions. the two families of silicone-based ingredients that make it easy for formulators to develop creams and lotions with a light and nice, fresh sensory. We will start with the low viscosity dimethicone oils. And as you already know, Elkem has a wide range of silicone oils with inky dimethicone. In the MIRASIL range, we find silicone oils from viscosity 1.5 centistocks to a viscosity of 500,000 millipascal second. In recent years, Elkem has launched 3 low viscosity dimeticones that are here: MIRASIL 1.5 centistocks, MIRASIL DM2, and MIRASIL DM5, since the demand for low viscosity oils has increased in the market. The focus today is on these three low viscosity dimethicone oils. They are silicone oils with viscosities between 1.5 and 5 centistocks, with a different volatility profile, as you see here, and with a content of D4, D5, and D6 less than 0.1%. The characteristics that make these lightweight dimeticones an essential ingredient and very useful for design of light formulations are the suitable for fresh formulations because of volatile profile, easy to spread, impart softness and lubricity, excellent moisturizing, broad compatibility, and a low D4, D5, and D6 content that meets the new requirement for cosmetics. We highlight that these so light and volatile dimethicone oils are ideal in the formulation of creams and lotions with fresh sensory. In this case, in this slide, we show the high compatibility of these low viscosity dimethicone oils and MIRASIL DM 1.5 and MIRASIL DM 2 show a high compatibility with vegetable oils, very similar at the one of CM5. That means that easily to introduce them in the final cosmetic formulations. Another point is the volatility profile. The volatility profile is another feature that inspires formulators. The graph shows the remaining product in a cup over the time. Here is the time, here the percentage of product remaining there. And the test was carried out at 25 degrees of temperature. The faster evaporation, the higher the feeling of freshness. Here we find one dimethicone 1.5 is the evaporation is higher in this case than the CM5. In the graph, you can see that dimethicone 1.5, that is here, and dimethicone 2 evaporates faster than isododecane, which makes them good candidates for the development of refreshing creams. Among the benefits of silicones is their low surface tension. Here you have. And this characteristic is directly related to the easy spreading. Easy spreading is measured by applying 5 milliliters of the emollient tested on in vitro skin and the covered area is measured after 2 minutes. The graph shows the surface covered after 2 minutes, and MIRASIL 1.5 and MIRASIL DM2 spreads faster than CM5, that is the one in purple. MIRASIL DM5 covers a smaller area and spreads slower than MIRASIL CM5 and much faster than compared to the other silicone, non-silicone emollients that are here. Really is very different. Regarding the efficacy test carried out in formulation, we will start with the sensory profile of a foundation in which there is 10% of the tested emollient. The MIRASIL 1.5, DM2, and CM5 impart similar sensory profiles: excellent spreadability, non-stickiness, high coverage, moisturizing effect in foundation formulation, highlighting a fresh sensory caused by the evaporation of the low viscosity dimeticones. See here, fresh is improved. The following tests have been carried out with formulations, and black leather has been used as an application substrate. The test is done by a lotion and a cream applied to the black leather. 2 hours later application, sun is applied and the amount of sun that remains at dirt is observed. In the case of the lotion formulated with DM2, the amount of adverse sun is less compared to the others, which means that it's less sticky and therefore has a greater light, refreshing feel. Second test is done with a foundation formulation with 10% of tested emollient. In this case, the foundation is applied and then rubbed with a finger. MIRASIL DM2 and MIRASIL DM5 give the foundation a superior sensitivity and long-lasting effect. See here in the slide. In conclusion, MIRASIL low viscosity dimeticone are good alternatives to D5 in cosmetic formulations, providing these benefits: are non-flammable, have broad compatibility, permit choice of volatility, enhance spreadability, reduce stickiness and adhesive feeling, both linked to the fresh skin feel, imparts softness and lubricity, and meet D4, D5, and D6 less than 0.1% requirements. Now, we dedicate the last part of the presentation to the MIRASIL Balance, a silicone emulsifier that is a key element in the formulation of stable cosmetics. This is an emulsifier to develop water in oil and water in silicone oil emulsions. The MIRASIL range of emulsifiers currently have 4 products in ELCA. Our focus today is the MIRASIL Balance with inky name Cetyl PEG-PPG 10-1 dimeticone. In the structure of the MIRASIL Balance, we find PEG-PPG the dimeticone group that is hydrophilic and cetyl group that is hydrophobic, and both combine with a silicone chain that provides light and silky skin feel. This is a very effective emulsifier already with low amounts going from 1 to 3%. And it can be used in hot and cold processing. This is a very versatile emulsifier that allows us, this is a very versatile emulsifier that allows us, the formulator, to imagine and create different textures by choosing the mixing ratios between the water phase and the oil phase. This is a test done in our laboratory in which an oil phase with ingredients balance DM5 and CM12-15 alkyl benzoate and water phase with ingredients water and sodium chloride were prepared. The mixing process was done at room temperature and hailed-off stirrer was used. The test consists of mixing different ratios, oil phase, water phase, and the viscosity measured is noted in the graph, obtaining this curve. All the emulsions are followed in stability, and the result is that those emulsions comprise between the ratios 12-88 and 20-80 are stable, and within this ratio of this range of ratios, creamy textures and very liquid textures have been achieved. The next slide, I will show you a video. Yes. And the video shows the textures of the ratios 12-88 and 20-80. If you notice in this type of emulsions, the higher the water content, the higher the consistency of the viscosity of the cream. MIRASIL balance used in amounts of 1 to 3% allows modulate the texture of the final formulations. The above formulations are stable over time. To demonstrate this, the stability test has been carried out. An example of them are the results obtained in the rheometric test on the left. The rheometric curves initial and after 1 month at 50 degrees overlap. The product is stable in the viscosity. There are no change on the time. On the other hand, the emulsion has been visualized under a microscope, and the particle size obtained initially is the same as the one obtained after 1 month at 50 degrees. No change means good stability. In the other side, in this type of emulsions, there are some variables to take into account, which are the following: internal phase content, emulsifier level, silicone oil viscosity, and share. The objective of this slide is to show some tips when troubles appear. if it's not possible to add to water phase or emulsion break during the process, the tip is to decrease one of some of the variables. In another case, if the trouble is the emulsion is unstable over time or there is sedimentation, the tip is increase one or some of the variables. Another feature of the MIRASIL balance is the ability to disperse pigments. The presence of a hydrophilic and lipophilic pair in the structure of balance is a key element for the dispersion action. The test has been done with titanium dioxide, pigment widely used in color cosmetics. MIRASIL balance reduced the viscosity of titanium dioxide dispersions in caprylyl tieso. Only 3 parts of MIRASIL balance added to the titanium dioxide dispersion have transformed the paste in a very liquid dispersion. And we can conclude that the MIRASIL balance is a suitable emulsifier for water in silicone and water in silicone plus oil formulations, providing these benefits: excellent emulsifying ability at low amount, possibility of manufacturing in cold and hot process, deliver ideal combination of textures, and is suitable as pigment dispersion for different color cosmetics, foundations, BB creams, or lip colors. In water in silicone and water in oil type formulations also provide good water resistance. My introduction ends here. Remember that all the questions you have go to be collected, and we will come back to you with the answers to your questions. And I let Ewin to follow with the conclusion and closing the webinar.
Okay, thank you very much, Rosa, for sharing very detailed information with us today. So so today, thank you everyone for joining us in today's webinar. So it's just in time to 1 hour. We have received a couple of questions, but due to this time constraint, so we got the questions with the name and the time indicated. So we will come back to you with the answers that you have posted on the questions that you have posted on. So if you have any interest, please drop an email to us, which I have left it in the chat box, and we will get back to you once we collect your requests and inquiries. So thank you once again, everyone, and have a good day, good evening, and goodbye, everyone. Have a good weekend. See you around. Bye bye.